In this lesson, we will make a solid model out of our surface bodies by using the Thicken tool, and then we'll take a brief tour of our next lesson, which will cover some of the corrections we can make to our model to help finish it, and then discuss what can go wrong with surface models. So just like with the other lessons, what we're going to do, and they're available for this lesson, we have our lesson model and our completed model. We're going to compare the two back and forth as we move forward with this. So let's go ahead and open up our completed model and take a look at what we need to do. What we've done is we've created all these surface features in here. We knitted them together, we mirrored them to the other side, we knitted them again, and we also merged the surfaces together. And now we're getting down to the point where we need to thicken it. We're going to do a housing thicken, and we're going to thicken it to the out, so that's the reason why the out reference is in here. Then we're going to go ahead and do a vertical shaft thicken. And we're actually going to thicken that in, and we're going to merge the results with that too. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and open our lesson model and take a look at this. What we have are our surface bodies. If you look at our surface bodies folder, we have our housing mirror, which means that, it's adopted the name of the last feature that modified the vertical shaft. Then we have our fillet outside, which again modifies the last feature of our housing. So we're going to go and thicken these. And very simply, we just go up to our surfaces tab. There's a thicken tool up here. And if you just click on that, it only allows us to pick one parameter at a time. So we're unable to go ahead and click on the housing body as well as the vertical shaft body. We have to do that separately in two different moves. But we're going to go ahead and click on our surface body over here. Concurrently, we could have gone over here to our surface bodies folder and chosen it that way. And if you look at it, I think that the default setting is going to be on this button over here. If you look at it, what we have here are a couple different surfaces that are going to intersect. We have a 1/4 inch fillet in here, or actually a 1/16 of an inch fillet in here. So the fillet actually is not going to show up if we do this on the inside rather than the outside. But this is just to show you that if we were to do this in a solid model and try to do the shell command, in situations like this where it can get tripped up, where it's usually a fillet that when you're trying to shell it out, it's unable to resolve, and you might get an error with that. So with that said, and if you take a look at what it might do there, it's kind of funky geometry. We're going to go ahead and do it to the outside, which is where it should be. It's going to be, instead of 1/10 of an inch, it's going to be 1/4 of an inch. And then we're going to go to OK. So green check mark. Let's go back to our surface bodies folder, and you will notice that we have a surface body up here, which is going to be our housing mirror or vertical shaft surface body that we've been working with. Plus, we now have a solid body. So because we have any bodies at all, it's going to put these two bodies in two different folders: the surface body and the solid body. So almost done with that. And you'll notice that the only blue line that we have left in this is going to be in the top and the bottom of the vertical shaft. And we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to go ahead and thicken this too. So if we go to the thicken command, we're going to go ahead and select this in the modeling area, which is going to be our vertical shaft, our surface for that vertical shaft. And this time we're going to go in the opposite direction. We're going to put it on the inside, make it 1/4 of an inch. We're also going to merge result here too. Go to the green check mark. And what it does is it gives us an error. Now, if we were to choose a value in here like 0.2500001 and do that, it likes it. And if we were to go back in there and do the same thing again, going to correct that value, if we put in 0.2499999, something goes really close to 1/4 of an inch on that side, it's going to do that too. But what it doesn't like doing is the 1/4 of an inch. That's I think it's the very same error that you're going to get when you find this in solid modeling, when you have a surface kind of, going along another surface here, like you might have over here in an oil pan, or where it connects up here at the very bottom of our housing. You have the zero thickness geometry issue. So you have to either put in a very small, an incrementally small or an incrementally larger number than the number we really want. I find that personally unsatisfying. I'm disappointed it doesn't work out this way, but there are ways around that. And the desire with these lessons here is to show you how to do the revolve surface command. But this could very easily be done by doing a just a regular solid body surface revolve. So we're going to go ahead and do that here in the next lesson, but I wanted to show you how to do that. So let's go ahead and rename this. We're going to go ahead and call this our housing thicken. Just to be consistent with everything we've done so far, and it's going to be out. And this one is going to be our vertical shaft thicken out. Now I could double click on this one and get it to highlight so I can make changes to it, except for now. So I'm going to have to go down to feature properties like I've been doing. We're going to call this our vertical shaft. Thicken, and then out also. Okay, just be consistent there. So what are we going to be covering in the next lessons? First of all, we want to make sure that our features are correct. We want to make sure that we're merging results for both of these. And if you do that, if you go up to your solid bodies or surface bodies folders, they're gone. And they're gone because we have one now. We only have one solid body. And all the surfacing tools have been used to merge this all together into one solid body. And again, that was the goal from the very beginning. And from the very beginning, we used surfacing in order to get the exotic features we're trying to achieve here, including the fillets, and being able to extrude that, or not extrude it, but thicken it, in order to get that solid model. So these are all merged together, so we're pretty much done. But there are some things in here we're going to go ahead and fix. One of those is this weird little surface in here. These surfaces did not merge together, and the desire is trying to make that merge together. Now, because this is the inside of our surface body in here, and we thickened it to the outside, we did something very similar here where we actually, we made that connected to the bottom part of that surface. So you still have that edge in here that it's going to be difficult to get rid of. And this little triangle in here too is going to be a little bit difficult to get rid of too. And I'm going to show you how to do that. We have that embedded into our completed model. Something else we're going to do, we're also going to take a hole that's going to be in here. We're going to actually connect that hole between the vertical shaft and the housing body. And then we're going to be doing something else too that I'm going to be showing you here in the completed model. So let's go back to our completed model and then take a look at that. You notice that we do have this, this bit of an inconsistent geometry in here we're going to try to get rid of. I'm going to show you how to do that. But if we take our rollback bar and roll this down a little bit, what we have in here is an item that's going to be in this folder in here called Interior Wheel Axle Guide Features. And we have this axle guide bearing ring over here, which for some reason seems to be popping out rather than in. So what that does is it provides a rotated boss in here that provides a surface for a bearing that's going to be coming in on the inside here. So I'm going to show you how to fix it here first and show you what happens when you fuss too much with these surface models and what can happen with that. So the last thing we're going to do is we're going to take this hole in here. We're actually going to punch it through the surface over here, which defines the gear housing, and we're going to put it into the vertical shaft. So those are three things we're going to be covering in the next lesson. So make sure you do save your work here, and join me in the next lesson where we will complete this model and this tutorial using surfacing tools in the creation of a windmill engine housing.